God dag, hvordan har du det? My name is Brainsmasher, and you've clicked on episode 16 of the Smashcast. Congratulations, and thank you for listening. As always, I've got a special one. I always have a special one for you because you're special to me, friends. So this idea started last weekend. My good friend Tony and I went CD shopping in the middle of nowhere. And in this obscure little banana box full of compact discs, there were some very, very special relics in there. And I pulled out an album that I hadn't really listened to in a very long time. And I handed it to Tony and said, "You really ought to buy this. It's great." On the drive home, we popped it in and listened to it. And Storms Nordavind really, really just... It was so nostalgic for me. It reminded me of being really young and being extremely fascinated with Norwegian music. Mostly 99% black metal for sure. But this was my very first portal into an escapism, for one, from what my life as a Iowan had been for so long. But through this music that was blasphemous and mean and obscure sounding, I really began to have a fascination with what I perceived as just some very beautiful eccentricities and special characteristics of the Norwegian language as well as the music. So I'm playing really just nothing out of the ordinary, nothing off the wall here today. I thought about it and I was like, if I had to pick 10 or 11 songs from albums that were quintessential cornerstones of teenage me becoming absolutely fascinated with Norwegian black metal, these are those songs. And so we'll get into more of that as I play through them, but let's kick this off a little bit. So here is a track from Kristen Brottenburg. The track is called Tirili Tovan. And so this is from a compilation called Nordisk Sang. And this, after we felt like we had run the gamut of as many Norwegian black metal releases as we could get our hands on, we started to become interested mostly through Storms Nordavind. And I'll play a song from that later on. But we just kind of really, I want more Norwegian folk music. How do I do that? And in the back of some of these metal distributor catalogs under VA things, there would be this release called Nordisk Sang. And my friend Nick had a copy of that. I never did wind up getting a copy of it. It's not so great. But it definitely did sate that interest that I had in discovering more Norwegian music that wasn't black metal. So I'll kick that off with Kristen, a couple others, black metal stuff, and we'll reconvene here in a bit.
Tirili Tovan.
one of the very, very earliest Norwegian black metal albums that I remember becoming really, really fascinated with. Now, this is coming out of, my initial just Feet in the Water, Fear Factory, Carcass, At the Gates, Gorefest, Grave, things like that. I just started to reach, past that border into, well, what's this? What's this album with the Northern Lights on it? And it's got this very fancy, decorative sort of logo. It was so different from the death metal that I had, tested the waters in. And I made that leap across the hot lava so quickly for this Norwegian stuff. I think a lot of it had to do with how I was brought up by my mom while she was in graphic design school. And I really started to have a love for layout and graphic design and lettering. She also did like calligraphy. She learned how to do calligraphy with a pen, and she would do like odd jobs for wedding invitations and things like that. And so I really had an interest for the more intricate attention to imagery that black metal did, as opposed to your death metal kind of stuff. And so I think that really was what drew me into the Norwegian stuff. But I've also always had a really strong interest, and I really like paying attention to the dialect and the phonetics of various languages. And so I don't know, for various reasons, I think the Norwegian language really appealed to me, and a lot of the songs on these albums are going to be in Norwegian, obviously. But Arcturus's Aspera Heimsymphonia was so very different and careful, and just paid so much attention to atmospherics, and it was just so absolutely radically different. And to think that this music was written by teenagers, to this day, I am absolutely floored and enthralled by the fact that these young kids came up with this music. It's unfucking believable. So anyways, that was Wintry Grey. I've always loved that song most from that album. And then before that, Dimmu Borgir with Altlis der Svunnet. My friend had this VHS tape that was like a live dissection show where they had opened, or maybe Dimmu Borgir opened, I'm not sure. And the track Altlis der Svunnet just always really drew me in. That so vividly painted this picture in my mind of like this golden sun setting over Norwegian fjords for some reason. Like, this is based mostly on my imagination as a teenager. No internet, didn't go to the library. I worked in a grocery store, and so like that meant that the little facets of this experience of Norwegian black metal had so much impact, so much more impact than it really ought to have for that time period. And so like that really is the total focus, and the whole deal. I'm at a lot. I'm looking for a word I don't have here. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. Gonna get a couple more dark. Gonna get a little darker, a little more brutal here. I really, really, really connected with Emperor's self-titled EP. My buddies all had the red version. There was like a misprinted version of the Enslaved split on CD, where the Gustav Doré guy riding on a horse was all in red with white ink on it. Anyways, the music on that EP is just always completely fascinated me. So got to kick it off with Night of the Graveless Souls, and then a real standard from Mayhem, another standard from Darkthrone. You know these songs, but they're great. It's just, there's no excuse. I really tend to, in my 44th year of living, to not bother reaching for these classics, but it bears to remember that these songs are absolutely timeless. A lot of these albums are the best of this whole genre, and is worth remembering that this is why we still reach out looking for new stuff. It's an experience that I had when I was a teenager that I'm still seeking for another hit of over and over and over. Okay, I'm going to shut up. Emperor. I always thought that sounded like a Carcass riff to me. I think I love Emperor because it sounds like there's a lot of like death metal sort of influences, but then he'll go on to something that sounds like Vivaldi or something inspired. I don't know. I don't listen to classical music as much as I ought to, I guess. Never really did. But I was thinking about this a minute ago. I think what I've always had this like idea in my head where I feel like if you were to be handed a pile of dirt from someone, you would either do two things. You would either cast it away and go, ew, gross, I don't want to look at this. Or you can sift through a handful of refuse and try and understand what it is in your hand. And look inside and, hey, I'm recording right now, cat. You can sift through those objects and understand that it isn't just dirt. It isn't just dirt. It's, there's rocks and leaf material and rotten twigs. And if you were to look into it under a microscopic level, there's fungal colonies and bits of sand and things like that. And so, like, I feel like in that same sort of metaphor, when you are played black metal such as this, you would either go, sounds like shit. Why would I want to try and pick apart what I'm actually hearing? Or if you were a person like me at that age, you are fascinated by digging through that pile of dirt and understanding what it is that is going into your ears. And I've always thought that, I guess, personalities like that were predispositioned to understand and be more fascinated by black metal because it's a music that is obscure and doesn't want to be understood on a surface level so that it can be just cast away as something that you wouldn't want to otherwise listen to. It's like, if you don't want to listen to black metal, then just fuck off. Anyways, I guess that's some pretty heady stuff there. So I'm going to throw another folk song at you. So this is a track that was originally, well, it's an old classic Norwegian song, Villemann og magnhild. So Storm originally recorded this on their Norwegian album. However, this is a version sung by a young Arve Moen. And dude, this guy can sing so wonderfully. And I just wanted to put this on here because I think it shows the beautiful, the beauty of the diction and the very subtle eccentricities that the Norwegian language can have. And I love the way that he adds these little nuances to the notes in telling the story. The story is about this man, villemann, who goes to a river to play his harp, and he finds this troll is holding this woman captive, and so he plays his harp so that the troll eventually lets him go, and that's it. That's a story. What a riveting story, huh? But I wanted to throw this in there because it's just a great illustration of how beautiful the Norwegian language is to me, I think. So then I'm going to go kick it off with some Kvist after that. And then I'm going to play one from Storm, Nordavind, in case you haven't heard Nordavind. Man, you're in for some greatness. And then after that, a little Isengard, another Darkthrone alumni. So yeah, dig into it.
Villemann gikk sikte storan nå, hei fagraste lindelhaug i alle, der han ville gullharpa slå, for de runene de lister han å vinne. Villemann talat til smådrengen sen, hei fagraste lindelhaug i alle, du hantar med karpa i raue gullskren, for de runene de lyster han å vinne. Villemann gjange på straumen og stå, hei fagraste lindelhaug i alle, og mesterlig kunne ska slå. För de runorna de lister han och vinner. Han lika malante, han lika malist. Hej fagraste lindelöv i alle. Och fuggelen tagna på grönande kvist. För de runorna de lister han och vinner. Han lika malante, han lika magnhild. Hej fagraste lindelöv i alle. Han lika magnhild hur nyckens arm. För de runorna de lister han och vinner. Men då steg Trell upp på djupaste sjö. Hej fagraste lindelöv i alle. Det jalla i berg och det runga i sky. För de runorna de lister han och vinner. Så slog han si harpet till bands i sin harm. Hej fagraste lindelöv i alle. Och utvinner kraftig av tröllernes arm. För de runorna de lister han och vinner.
I guess I don't know that Thornspawn Chalice necessarily illustrates any aspects of the Norwegian language or culture that I was interested in, but it's just one of those albums that was there early on that made me just think, like, these guys are so fucking cool. Oh, the vocals on that song are just so pissed off. I don't think I've ever heard Fenris do a more just blood-curdling performance of vocals. Just amazing. That album, I kind of have this like trilogy of like the perfect folk metal albums from the 90s, and they are Storms Nordavind, Isengard's Vinterskugga. Actually, no, that was from Husmyrka. Vinterskugga is the compilation of demos. It's okay, but yeah, Husmyrka is definitely where it's at. And then Otig's Alvefard. That thing is... if you watch my YouTube videos, there's a flag behind me. I'm looking right at it. It's got a little troll man on it, held back by fairies. Otig's Alvefard. That is the holy trinity of folk metal albums, if ever there was one. So I'm just going to spit out 3 more classic Norwegian black metal songs. So I don't know if you've noticed, but so far I'm kind of picking some like not so obvious tracks from some of these albums, and I'm definitely continuing in that. But my favorite track from the first Borknagar, the opening riff on this thing, wow. That first Borknagar record just blew me away. The vocals of Garm, I don't think Garm ever sang any better than on that thing. So pissed off. Again, the teenagers writing this stuff, unbelievable. And then I'm going to throw Thrown by Blackstorms by Immortal. I always thought Immortal threw so much extra personality in their songs, especially on Battles in the North. My buddy Matt and I would always joke that he was Abath and I was Demonaz. We absolutely worshipped this band back when we had no social media, no internet, nothing else to think about. We just pretended that we were Abath and Demonaz. And like so much of this context was based around these little interviews that we would get from magazines that we could get our hands on. We would mail order stuff from far across the world. We would borrow our parents' debit cards and fill out money orders to get the stuff in. Oh, I'm really sounding like an old man today. Anyways, that's from Battles in the North. And then I'm going to end it off with the last track from Ulver's Bergtot. This is pure black metal magic. You can't deny it. So that's going to end this kind of long episode all about my fascination with Norwegian black metal. I love it. You love it. I hope this kind of gives you an idea of what's different about this music from, say, Swedish stuff or just Scandinavian or just European stuff. I think there's definitely an identity to specifically Norwegian black metal. There was a really interesting interview a couple of years ago. I spent a lot of time on YouTube just looking up interviews about like Euronymous and Helvete and the Elm Street pub, because a lot of these guys now are so removed from the obscurity that they once were in the 90s, and they're giving interviews with a lot of various media outlets and stuff and YouTubers and whatever, and they're telling these old stories, and I just love finally like filling in all the cracks to the obscurity that once was dwelling in my mind. Anyway, so Garm gave this interview where he talked about this whole Oslo scene and how they all just really like locked arms and pushed each other to write the best music and outdo one another. There really wasn't much of an awareness of what was going on outside of Norway at this time. And I just love that idea that all these bands were striving and pushing one another to be as unique as they were. And I think it was a total success story. In the wake of church burnings and the murder and Burzum's jailing, I think these guys, now I'm not sure how much like those instances influenced how they would act after the fact. But I just really love the idea that these guys like all drank together, or like were even too young to drink probably at some point at the Elm Street pub and these rehearsal spaces, and they were just checking out what the other ones were doing and just kind of trying to outdo one another. And we all benefit from it, right? It just created this incredible scene of music. Anyways, I am going to shut up. This podcast is supposed to be more music than talking, and I feel like I'm about to break the barrier here. So 3 tracks and I'm out. We will see you later. Thanks as always for listening to the Smashcast. Take care.